Let me add here.
This man, no, I don't want to get into an issue of the procedural and bureaucratic manner in which he was appointed.
No.
Captain Gopinath, can I ask you something? Captain Gopinath, can I ask you something?
Let me complete.
Captain Gopinath.
You're not letting me complete.
Okay,
After I complete, you ask me. Number two. Obviously, there are lobbies both for keeping Bhushan there and removing Bhushan there. We do not know exactly what happened in the Prime Minister's Secretariat. But what we do know is 2 months ago, a memo has been sent for appointing Mr. Mishra, who is in the ICAO in Montreal, for a permanent post, because he was the only one who qualified as per the Appointments Cabinet Committee's requirements for the DGCA. I spoke to some people there. They said there's nobody qualified. So finally they found a man. Some people don't want to have that post. Finally they found a man who is in the ICAO, and his name was recommended 2 months ago.
One minute, Captain Gopinath. Captain Gopinath, I am not interested. Captain Gopinath, I am not interested in the inner workings of a DGCA. My question is simple. Here is a man. Here is a man. 1 minute. Here is a man. He says all airlines violate safety standards. I will act against them. Here is a man who says Kingfisher is violating rules. If it continues to violate rules, I will terminate its license. Here is a man who says that Air India has a demotivated workforce. It's a recipe for disaster. I will act against them. Here is a man who has actually acted for the first time to improve safety systems, who has been part of a process exposing the fake pilot scam. And what do you do with that man? You simply walk into his office and sack him.
No. I think,
Arnab.
Firstly, he was an extension by default. He was on extension by approval.
That does not justify sacking him the way he's been sacked. There's more to it.
What is there to it?
It's not about whether he was an extension technically or not. I mean, what is the reason? That's what we need to find out.
You ought to ask the minister. But what I'm trying to say is that the DG cannot act in a manner which is arbitrary, just like the government cannot act.
Where was he acting arbitrarily?
By the DG?
No, it's untrue.
Oh, any number of.
It's untrue what you're saying.
Any number of instances where he has acted in an arbitrary manner.
Let me quote Vayala Ravi. Let me quote Vayala Ravi for you. 1 minute, sir. Let me quote Vayala Ravi. Vayala Ravi says he was one of the finest officers with a very strong faith and belief in systems. He also mentioned that whenever there was a complaint against him, because these lobbies have been putting complaint against him, the investigations have found out that the DGCA, Mr. Bhushan, was always right all the time. Yeah. And this man on the 9th gives an ultimatum to Kingfisher Airlines.
No, but then he has to be sacked. Then he's a misfit.
No, then you're drawing a broad generalization.
If he follows systems, if he's honest, if he's not corrupt, then he can't be serving in such a critical role. Gopinath is right. You might as well get someone who will crawl when asked to walk. The tragedy, Arnab, is you're firing your guns at the wrong place. Haul the cabinet secretariat, because we have a decent cabinet secretary, to be fair. Haul Ajit Singh over the coals. He shouldn't even be coal minister, forget civil aviation minister. Haul the people who are actually part of this entire lobby nonsense. Do you know, you're talking about safety? People today, airlines are profiteering. You're paying 18 to 20,000 rupees one way on an economy ticket between Delhi and Bombay. People have used this as a profiteering mechanism. I'm saying use Bharat Bhushan's ouster to refocus and re-examine the malaise that continues.
Suhel Seth, I thank you for drawing me. I thank you for drawing me into what I now describe as an intricate web of a long and elaborate discussion on systemic issues. However, I will continue to be focused on what happened on the 9th of July. Because on the 9th of July, Bharat Bhushan signs a letter and gives it to the Additional Director General Civil Aviation, in which it is pointed out quite clearly that Kingfisher Airlines has failed to comply with a recovery plan. The letter reveals that the Vijay Mallya-owned airline has been served a notice of 15 days to pay its salaries and dues, to restore routes to the northeast, to bring its recovery process as per its promises, otherwise its license will be terminated. This letter is issued, Suhel Seth, let me draw your attention, at 11 o'clock on 9th of July. What was the 9th of July? What date?
Monday.
Monday. 11 o'clock on the 9th of July, sacking order. 1 minute. At about 11 or 12 o'clock on the 10th of July, a Joint Secretary officer says, Mr. Bhushan, you have been sacked. In other words, somebody must have really been worried that what is going to happen if he continues. Maybe he will.
It's an absolute shame.
It's a crying shame, but then.
But Arnab, you're missing one major point.
Yes.
Arnab, you're missing one major point, which is that he is still the additional secretary in the ministry. He continues to hold the office of additional secretary in the ministry.
He can't do what he wanted to do.
Inconvenient for a lot of people.
No, Ashwini Kakkar.
As DGCA, he is fully entitled to issue orders. The fact is, yes, Ashwini, you said earlier, it was only the Prime Minister's office who could have transferred him. Because it was an intra-ministry transfer, Ajit Singh could remove him from DGCA and bring him back to Civil Aviation Ministry. All said and done, DGCA is supposed to be an autonomous body, responsible for safety. He is fully within his right to issue the orders of this kind. Now, it is not only what Arnab has pointed out. The fact is, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, Kingfisher made certain commitments that he'll operate with 20 aircraft, certain number of flights. They have not been operated. There were certain commitments given to DGCA you have not complied with. Tell me which authority in India has to act. It is the DGCA.
No, yes, Captain Gopinath wants to rebut.
Arnab, can I come in?
Yeah, go on, Captain Gopinath.
Now, firstly, in that case, they should have...
Air India was run to the bloody ground.
They should have
Nobody has even bloody raised their voice. What nonsense.
Ashwini, don't do
that 49% is hanging for...
Captain Gopinath is responsible.
Ashwini, please, Ashwini.
Yeah, see, you see the problem.
Don't interrupt.
The problem
Don't interrupt.
is the bigger issues are not being tackled at all.
Oh, come on, Arnab.
Yeah, okay, Ashwini Kakkar, let Captain Gopinath continue, please. Yes.
All I'm saying is, if you wanted the DGCA to act against Kingfisher, then he should have, as per Bhargava, then he should have completely grounded Air India. And also this question of, on the Suhel Seth, on the one hand says, he's very honest, on the other hand he is saying that Kingfisher is not influencing him, and some of you are saying Kingfisher is influencing
Nobody is saying, one minute, let me place on record. No, Captain Gopinath, I'm not saying Kingfisher is influencing him. I am saying that two things have happened. I am not drawing a link.
Coherent to structure.
1 second. I am not drawing a link. I am saying that a man says on 9th of July, I will act against Kingfisher if they don't comply. On the 10th of July, he is sacked. There may or may not be a link.
That means Captain Gopinath is
gone. One second. Second point is, Mr. Bhushan is a good IAS officer. I am saying he was holding the DGCA as an additional post. Every letter said he is the secretary holding an additional post.
Right.
So he should not have been brought there in the first place.
The fact is,
we should have had a person who understood this department.
We're not having a discussion.
I am not having a discussion. Exactly. No, 1 second. I want to lay it right. I am not having a discussion here on the appointment process in the government. I am not interested. I am looking at it from the passengers. The passengers say that here is a man who is doing something to clean up the system.
Correct.
The passenger says, this man doesn't allow fake pilots. Arnab. 1 minute. This man wants safety audits. This man will implement the rules. This man is Mr. Cleanup in aviation. I fly on the basis of the sense of security provided to me by two agencies, the Bureau of Civil Aviation Security, which ensures my plane is not hijacked, and the Director General of Civil Aviation, which ensures that the planes operate by certain safety and operating norms. Now, if you were to say this, 1 minute, Doctor, one minute, Captain Gopinath, the passenger says today, the man is cleaning up and the man has been sacked. I want an answer on behalf of the passenger. Why?
Jet Airways has not had a single accident. Kingfisher hasn't had a single accident. Jet Airways hasn't had an accident. Indigo hasn't had an accident.
What does that prove? What does that prove?
Captain, your comparison of Kingfisher with Air India is misplaced. Air India has not dishonored any commitment given to DGCA. First, you cannot go and say this is the past. The fact is, look, Captain Gopinath, please let me. There is a certain commitment given by Kingfisher to the DGCA that you will operate with a certain number of flights with certain number of aircraft. You don't comply with it. Tell me which airline in India has done this.
Air India has not compared with a single thing.
This is a discussion
20 years ago.
No. And as regarding Mr. Bharat Bhushan's credentials, one could have questioned these credentials before he was appointed.
Yes.
Let's look at his track record, what he has done and what he has achieved as DGCA. This is unparalleled. You don't have somebody.
Why are you holding yourself back?
I'm not holding. What I'm saying is, you have not had a DGCA more effective, more neutral than Mr. Bharat Bhushan.
Why has he been removed?
That's the unfortunate part.
But don't tell the people to speculate. I thought you were an insider in the civil aviation industry.
It's an unfortunate part.
What is unfortunate?
That is what I'm saying. How helpless can we get that you have an honest man who's done a good job, everybody acknowledges the pilot scam and other kind of thing that he has unearthed, and not allowed anybody to be spared, even if they were senior officials of the DGCA. What kind of treatment does he get? Are we so helpless?
Can I tell you